Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and this guy sitting next to me is part of one of the best shows of 2016, Alano Miller on WGN's Underground. Make sure to check it out. Great interview ahead. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Alano, this show, Underground, groundbreaking, pioneering. It's getting phenomenal reviews, man.
Yes.
WGN seems like it's hit a home run, and you and I were just talking about it. Your executive producers, John Legend, Mike Jackson, seems like they've hit a home run.
Yeah, lucky them.
Yeah. Great, John and Mike.
Yeah.
Share it all. Congratulations on everything. So this show, talk to me about being part of it.
It's just been an honor. I didn't expect it to be what it was going to become. When I first got the call about slave drama, I cringed and hid under the covers because I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do this. And who wants to see this? And then they said, just read the script. I promise you, just read the script. So I read the script and I was blown away, And then I got the job and we got to Baton Rouge and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to be here in this hot heat on a real plantation, real slave quarters. And the whole cast, we just got together and we really just pushed through and we became a really tight family. And that's very rare, when people click like that. And there were moments where Misha would constantly try to separate me and Aldous because we were supposed to be bumping heads, and yet we were like, we're best friends. And so, it was just such an honor. We know the responsibility that we have in this, and I'm so grateful to be a part of such a revolutionary story. Giving honor to and paying homage to our ancestors in a way that we haven't done before.
This topic matter. It couldn't be a more appropriate time. Obviously, there's so much talk about diversity in Hollywood right now, and we'll touch upon that. But being able to really share this message, share this plight right now, what does that mean to you as an actor?
There's so many things you can say in the entertainment industry. When do you get a chance to say this is something this is your legacy. This is a piece of your legacy that you can be proud of and be passionate about and stand for, and you can yell to the hills and you can get on your soapbox and scream and hopefully people will listen and hear you. This is, for me, one of those moments where you get to just sit back and, clench your heart and say, I did good. My mother and father will be proud. And so for me, I pray that everyone who watches it is not transformed, because that's such a cliche thing, but for them to be able to open the conversations up, so that we can really start the healing process and also start to celebrate these men and women that we normally don't get a chance to do. We always see it from the victims. This time we're talking about the revolution and that we need each other. This isn't just a one-sided story. We need each other in order for us to survive in this society.
When you look at the subject matter, it can be done so many different ways, and it could have been very sterile.
Absolutely.
They didn't pull punches on this. This is as realistic and as authentic as it could get. Did you guys have a sense of that as you're filming it? Hey, that we are getting this thing right now?
No. I'm going to be honest. We didn't. We knew the scripts were great, but we didn't really know how much, once it gets into the editing room, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if they're going to, WGN doesn't want that. We're going to pull back. WGN said, no, we want more. And that was very exciting for them to keep, digging in. Art should be a bit uncomfortable at times. If you're going to tell this story, it needs to be. And so the fact that they were so bold and then attach the music to it as well, I was blown away. I didn't know. When I saw the first episode, I said, oh, that's the story we're telling. Oh my God, this is brilliant.
You mentioned music. Music is, and obviously having John involved is already a masterful stroke, but music is such an important centerpiece of this show, from the opening Kanye West theme to just the whole musical underpinning. Talk to me about how music plays into the show.
It's interesting. I normally look at music as being something just to composing, just to kind of zhuzh the scenes. For this show, though, it is its own story. It stands, it tells its own story, and it is a part of our the storytelling, but it doesn't cover it up. It actually keeps the pace going. So for us on set, it was always about what song is being played during this time. We want to keep that pace. We want to keep that energy. We want you to be exhausted. And that music does that. It's so, there's so much beat to it. The rock, the country, there's jazz,
there's hip-hop.
Of course, hip-hop, there's R&B. I mean, he's doing so much to keep you on the edge of your seat and make you question, to take that music and say it's not in a frame, it's no longer in a museum, it's right now, it's relevant. That's what the music does for this show. So you can't separate yourself from it. It makes you say, nope, this is what you heard on the radio last night, and guess what? It's in this show, and that makes it even more relevant.
And it connects the millennials, which is so important because this is subject matter that, this is when I realize I'm old.
Because you look great.
Not bad for 56.
There you go.
I think that's so important because this is a story that I think my generation, we learned it in schools, but now YouTube stars are what people are learning in schools. So I think it's important for people in their teens to understand what happened and the importance of what happened. The reaction's been off the charts. I mean, President Obama just had you at the White House to screen this. It's got to be mind-blowing.
Yeah, you couldn't have told me we were going to end up at the White House.
That's cool.
Yeah, normally it's about 4 seasons or a movie that is epic, that he's like, I need to see this movie. For us to be invited to show this was probably one of the greatest honors. You don't get those opportunities always. And that's, I wish I could replay that day over and over again, walking onto the grass and the whole bit. It was brilliant.
What was his reaction to watching the show?
I don't know. I
would have been like, can I meet Barack Obama?
I was constantly just trying to not make a fool of myself.
See, I would have been the fool. I would have had my arm around him.
I needed to step out of the room, so I stepped out of the room and just waited, and that was it. I can't really, I don't want to know what he thought. I just want to believe that he loved it and that everything was perfect, and I believe he did.
So right now, we're coming off the Oscars. This is an important time, enormous diversity problem in Hollywood. I've been talking to so many actors, white, black, Latino, it doesn't matter, to really get their thoughts. How do we tackle this problem? How do we solve it?
Well, I think it starts at the top. You need people, minorities at the top as well, who are making the decisions. It starts with us cultivating new artists, new voices, directors, writers, actors, even producers who want to tell diverse stories. For me, I try not to put too much weight on diversity in a way that becomes, how do I put this, famous. You don't want to give diversity its fame because it shouldn't be. It should be something that's an everyday occurrence. We should be dealing with this on an everyday, because that's our world now. And for me at this point, it is also us taking our responsibility as artists to continue to create as much as we can. I made a film this past year or last year that ended up going to Sundance, and that was brand new actors, brand new director, brand new writer, and that was an honor that I got a chance to be a part of that as just an EP, wasn't even in it. And that for me is how we are going to continue to tell our stories, whatever story that is. That's the type of diversity that we need. We need that type of support.
Was it Birth of a Nation?
No.
I was going to say, I'm like, were you involved with Nate on that?
No,
I was like, about to high five you there.
No. It was called How to Tell You're a Douchebag. It was a comedy.
Yeah. I'm like 17.5 million.
No, I know.
We're going to lunch after this.
Yes, we are. I'm buying everyone. No.
That was a talk of the town, by the way. Another movie that really talked about.
And I'm very proud of him. I mean, for him to produce it, write it, direct it, and then quit acting and then say, I'm going to star in this thing, that's a pretty big deal.
And he's the nicest guy on the planet.
Oh, he's absolutely a nice guy. Yeah, absolutely nice guy. And I saw him down the street when he just got the money, like and I saw him down the street and I said, congratulations. And he had the biggest cheese. I said, you better be smiling. $17.5 million. Absolutely.
Supposedly he turned out 20 from Netflix.
Yeah, he did. He wanted it to be done right. He wanted to make sure that the world saw it the right way.
Fox Searchlight's the best. So
absolutely.
He hit a home run with that.
Yeah.
So when you look at a show like this, and your character's more of the antagonist on this show, You're
would fight you on that.
Yeah, you're such a nice guy. How hard was it for you to get into character?
For me, it started in the makeup room. 2 hours of getting the prosthetic on, 2 hours off. It was the hat and the vest that really helped bring Cato to life. And I just had Misha and Joe and Anthony Hemingway literally yelling at me all the time, like, no, do it better than that. Go darker. And I was just like, no, but
Is that hard? Is it hard to hit that type of dark spot?
at times, I had to go to some very dark places in my life that I had, and I had to dig some things up that I didn't know that I had. I was like, oh, I thought that was gone. But yeah, I mean, they definitely pushed the envelope with me on saying, nope, you can't be that. Nope, took away all of any tool that I wanted to use that had a bit of compassion, a bit of this, would take it away. And I started to understand that I needed to leave a trail behind, so that by the time you get to episode 10, you're gonna go, oh, I get him. Oh my God, because he's a character you're gonna love to hate. You don't know what he's gonna do next. You can't trust him. He could be on your side, and he shows you that, and then he pulls the rug right under you. And so that's so exciting to play. He's just one of those chess players that you don't normally see. And we take a villain like him and we turn him upside down, and we make you see that he has redeemable qualities at points, and you start to have a little bit of a heart for him. Hopefully, if I've done my job, then you definitely have an understanding. You may not love him, may not hate him, but you definitely respect him and understand him.
I'm a TV fanatic.
Okay.
And the thing I love, I was talking to Ted Danson about this last night, who's had such an incredible career in television.
Absolutely.
And he said, right now, we get the opportunity to make 10 one-hour movies on television.
Yeah.
For you talk about making a film at Sundance, but what draws you to television? What is it about the experience and being able to tell this character arc and inhibit this character that draws you?
I think for me, it's just right now television it's at a peak. The way that they're writing, the things that they're saying, the stories that they want to be put out there. For me, to be able to bring a character to life is so much of a challenge, and it sharpens you as an artist. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it keeps you on your toes. Misha never let us know what was going to happen in each episode, so I thought I died in every episode. Like,
this is why I couldn't be an actor. Like on shows where I'd be like, forget the script. I've got to make sure I'm alive by the end.
No. We all did. We were all going to the end of the episodes
and going, still there?
Okay, I'm still alive. And we would call each other like, you're still there. Yeah. But it was just tracking this character is a lot of fun. Knowing where you can do a little different thing here, a little bit there, and hoping that it makes the cutting room, It's always those types of characters of bringing the humanity out in him. You see villains, and there's nothing about villains you love. I want to make this villain so relatable that you look at yourself in the mirror and hate yourself because you're more like him than you know. And that's the good part about it. That's the fun of Cato.
Is it difficult to go in and out with Cato? So, great example, Jared Leto is famous for being method actor to the extreme, and he's, in character. He doesn't even know he's Jared anymore. Was it difficult for you to switch on and off and be Alano one moment and Cato another?
It was not easy. My cast would tell you that I was definitely Cato 90% of the time, with a smile. I would tell you that. But it was taking off the makeup. It was taking off the outfit, the costume to get me closer to myself. And my wife, she's so amazing, she put up with so much. She constantly, was like, no, we're gonna go on a vacation now, so we can get rid of this guy for a little while, and that was fun. Getting rid of him was, and now I have to find him again and do it a different way, because season 2, God willing.
You guys are getting to see. I think it's a safe bet.
I hope so, but it's season 2. Oh, Cato's going in a whole different direction. It's gonna be so exciting to see where he goes.
When you look at, and it's funny, Aldous, part of your cast, he had another project this year that was so talked about with Straight Outta Compton, one of my favorite movies. What was his reaction to everything? Because he was in the direct, pit of what everybody was talking about. What was his reaction about everything going on with diversity in Hollywood?
I mean, I think doing the show was his answer. He got a chance to say, okay, you don't you don't want to support us in this way, but I'm going to still continue to tell our stories. I'm going to still continue to stand up for diversity, and I'm going to continue to be proud of where I come from and the things that we've accomplished. And to see him take the lead in that respect and not get frustrated and angry was exciting for me to see, because many actors get very upset and they make it about them, and he knows that it's not about him. It's about the people that are watching him. They're the reflection, you know. They get a chance to see themselves on screen, and they get to learn about themselves in a way that they've never possibly seen themselves. Get to relate to a character that they never get to relate to, you know. And so he understands that it's less about him and more about the people, you know. And that is, I think, at the end of the day, all of our thinking in diversity. It's not about us. We get a chance to share our stories, share our hearts, share our passion, our compassion. We get to edify, comfort, and we get to educate, build people up, and we get to make them feel. And he knows that, and that's why he's, you know, where he is.
You and I were joking before we went live. Kanye was originally the EP, but then John Legend comes in. What has he brought to this project? How did he really help make this thing and propel it?
You know, we were exhausted every day, 18-hour days. We're in the heat. There's mosquitoes eating through my makeup, and they eat through clothing, by the way. Didn't know that mosquitoes do that. There. Yeah, snakes. I ran on top of a snake. There's alligators. They said the swamps, they couldn't clean them out for us. We had to just get in, and they said, we don't know what'll happen, you know. And then here comes John Legend, and we're like, what is he gonna say? And then he comes with this heart, right? This heart that puts this, he rebuilds us to say, this is what we're doing, you know. And so he just reinvigorated us to get back on, you know, get back in the game and keep pushing and telling the story, and to make sure that the world knows about it. And that for me was a big deal, to see him sitting next to us and be as passionate as us, to have the same heart as us. And he wasn't in the swamps with us or going through that. That meant a lot for us. And it showed how much pride he had and how much he believed in the stories that we were telling. And then for him to then go into the editing room and sit in the editing room and go through every single cut, you know, and then say, that's not right, let's do this, or now I'm going to add this music here, and to, you know, work with the singers to make sure that the songs are right. I mean, all of that is just so, he dedicated himself to it. And normally they don't do that. They just sit back and they relax and they collect a check or whatever, or just have the name on it. No, he was definitely a part of this process. We couldn't have done it without him.
You guys are going to kill it with this show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's such a breath of fresh air during a time that needs it. And I think WGN and all of you guys just really hit a home run with it. So really congratulations.
Thank you.